This is a tutorial on how to create Manuset or Bespoke templates in Intellicut Global. In this tutorial, we'll be creating bespoke templates. On the Aerocut cutter, these are called Manuset templates. They're templates that have a common size for each of the objects placed on the page, but they aren't found in the preset library. In this case, we're going to be creating a template using artwork that is the size of a card, usually that sits on a desktop, called a rack card. The size of the rack card that we're using is 97 millimeters by 210 millimeters, and it does have a bleed edge as we want to be able to trim off 3 millimeters when we create our job. You can see the artwork. The default folder is in your My Documents Intellicut Global Images folder, although you can pull artwork from anywhere, but this is the best place to keep it, and that's what it defaults to when you import your artwork. If we open up this artwork in an Adobe product, you can actually see the dimensions, and this is the best way to kind of verify that you have the right size. You can see that it's 103 by 216. That's because we're adding 3 millimeters to each edge, so 6 millimeters in total to the length and width dimensions. Now that we verified that, let's go ahead and go back to our Intellicut Global product and start a new job. What I like to do is always to filter my jobs by the paper size. We're going to be multi-upping this onto an SRA3 sheet, and we can see that we have all the preset templates like we saw in the last video. If we had a custom template, it would be at the very end of your list, but we don't have any here. You can see these are just the standard templates that are available. So we're going to create a new one, and you do that by clicking the Bespoke template button, and you'll start to see over here on the left side us building this template. We click our Next button, and first thing we want to do is to be sure we have a unique template number that will be stored in our Aerocut. One way to make sure you're not going to overwrite another template or use a barcode number that's already being used for another application, causing confusion, is you can click Select from List. I'm connected directly through my LAN network to my Aerocut, and then it will read from the Aerocut and show us the jobs that have already been stored in the device. Well, we can see we have quite a few openings. You have a choice from 1 to 100 for your bespoke templates. I'm going to go ahead and select template number 9. This will be reflective on the barcode, and also when we save the parameters of this job and the job name, it will be stored in number 9, as we'll see in a moment. The template name, I'm going to call this a 97 by 210 rack card. You can name it anything you like. And then it's not a flex mode job. We'll be talking about that in another video, so I don't check that button. I click Next. Now you can see that it just has a default layout here for us. So we want to go ahead and lay out our cards. So if we choose a landscape overall page size, and our cards themselves are portrait. As I mentioned, the width of the card is 97, the height of the card is 210, and it has a bleed edge. We see in our preview here that we'll get 4 cards on the sheet. This would be the feed direction on the Aerocut, and we have enough room for 4 cards. It even tells you that here, the expected value of 1 to 4. But what we would like to do is to go ahead and change the paper size just to see if we can maybe get a better layout. It automatically will calculate the layout on a portrait page. And look, we can get 2 more cards. We can get 6 cards, 2 by 3. So this is perfect. In fact, this is much better. It automatically figures out the margin area. You can see the pink is the bleed edge. Everything calculated so it will work perfectly on your Aerocut without you having to do any math. Now we click our next page. We can make adjustments if we like, but everything is the way we would like it. So we'll just go ahead and click Finish. At this point, we also could send to the Aerocut. Actually, I think I'm going to go ahead and do that so we have the parameters saved into our Aerocut. It's going to save in position 9. And I click our Send button, save to the Aerocut. Now I'm going to click Finish. So now we have that saved. It immediately takes you into the new job, assuming that you've created this template and you would like to use it. So we're going to head and name our template COVID-19 tips, because that's what our card is all about. It gives you some safety protocols for the pandemic. So we go ahead, if we click name front and back, then it will automatically name the job. Now you see we have the template, just like we saw in preset templates. From this point, it's just exactly the same. You click on your artwork button. There's the artwork. You click open. It places the artwork automatically on your page, and you click create PDF. We have the View PDF button selected, so as soon as we create it, it will automatically create our layout. Then we can just say File and Print and send that over to our, in this case we have a Xerox printer, and it will print from directly from your Adobe product. As you notice, we do have a barcode. Let me zoom in on that so you can see it a little bit better, and you can see that it's barcode number 9. It also has been stored, as we mentioned, directly in our Aerocut. To see that, we can go ahead and close the job, and you can click at the main menu or the welcome menu. You can click on the remote PC controller. It will read all of the jobs that are on the Aerocut, and we can just verify our work without ever even leaving our desk. We can go ahead and open up the card. We can see that it's been programmed exactly to what we expect, 97 by 210. That we're going to get the right number of cards, 2 cards in this direction, 2 rows, and then 3 columns, so 6 cards. Everything is calculated perfectly. So we really don't have to do anything. We can even get a little preview of our job and see exactly how it's going to be laid out as we expect, and as we've already seen the layout to be as we look at our PDF. Nothing to do but print and cut.